fight fans? Welcome back to the Cool Quay Show, brought to you by the Undisputed Real MMA. I'm yours truly, MMA Cool Quay, and I want to come over here to talk about this pathetic interview that Dricus Du Plessis coach did, Morne Visser. I just got done listening to the most pathetic interview that a coach has ever been in, fight fans. Ever been in. What a disgrace from Dricus Du Plessis' coach. Fight fans, let's start finding different coaches for Dricus Du Plessis, because that was absolutely nothing short but ridiculous, fight fans. Let's get straight into it. I never really liked this guy. Hearing what he had to say in the UFC 319 countdown leading up to this fight, the guy he looked like a lizard, and he's just very, very delusional. People call me delusional. This guy is beyond delusional, and all I heard him talk about in the interview, and when he was answering these questions, it just was delusion, fight fans. Just excuses after excuses after excuses. Like excuses that's stacking up on top of each other that came out this man's mouth. Blaming the referee, no good got her. Blaming Chimaev for a boring fight. Never looked at himself in the mirror and been like, you know what? I'm the coach. I'm his head coach. I've been with Dricus Du Plessis for years through his career. I had to know that these are things that he's struggling in, which is wrestling and the grappling aspect. That he's struggling in with fighters like Darren Till, who don't even have wrestling. Derek Brunson, he's so overrated, Derek Brunson. But you didn't do enough. Give Hamza Chimaev his credit. Stop blaming Chimaev for a boring fight. Stop. Like, this man said so much crazy stuff. And before we get into the video, I want to give Dricus Du Plessis a big shout out because he always been classy. He was classy after the Israel bad blood that was going on. He said, I'm the real African and all that type of stuff like that. He came out, apologized to Izzy. He always been a stand-up guy, Dricus Du Plessis. He always carried himself as a champ, as a role model. And that's what I like about Dricus Du Plessis. If I don't like anything else about him, that's what I love about him.
Am I going to be on my back or have him on my back? At the end, I went for it, had the back. I could almost taste that victory, but big ups to Hamza. He deserves this 100%. He beat me fair and square tonight. He was the better man tonight, and I'll be back.
But his coach don't carry himself, Visser, as a professional coach. On the countdown, it was good for him to say, we the problem, we bring the problem. But when he started talking about, I wouldn't give Chimaev a pro license for his boxing, for his shit boxing. And to be quite honest, fight fans, I wouldn't give you, Visser, a MMA coach license for your shit coaching. Got outclassed at UFC 319. Talking about fighters run for Chimaev wrestling. We're not going to run for Chimaev wrestling.
Hamza doesn't know what it is when people want to wrestle him. He's only facing guys who's trying to get away from his wrestling. We don't want to try to get away from his wrestling. We want to...
And you seen what happened. 50-54 on the scorecards. Ridiculous. Dricus Du Plessis had times where he could have scrambled out, but he was too scared because he knew that Chimaev was going to jump on his back like a monkey. He knew that Chimaev was going to jump on his back like a bat out of hell and try to lock that choke in. So Dricus couldn't be goofy, unorthodox, and funky on the ground like he is on the feet when he fought these strikers like Sean Strickland, Robert Whitaker, Israel Adesanya. And I give my props to you, Visser. You did your thing. You game planned all those fights with the Izzy fights, throwing the body kicks, putting the pressure on Izzy. Sean Strickland, being a little bit patient, not getting into a brawl, putting the pressure on Strickland, breaking that guard, throwing different strikes at him, being technical. That was a good game plan for Strickland. You did that. But now, when the fighter lose, when you're not on top anymore, that's when you see the coach's true color and you get to see their true character. And I seen everything I needed to see in that interview. This buffoon, lizard-looking ass, cold looking. Let me stop, fight fans, but man, this guy's a joke. I couldn't believe the stuff that came out this man's mouth. I can't believe he fixed his mouth to admit this stuff in this interview. Oh, we trained wrestling. We trained to defend the takedowns and to get back up, but we didn't train the crucifix position. That's one thing we didn't train, at the crucifix position. What? What? DDP, stop finding a new coach or something. Hurry up. Fight fans who follow this the channel, subscribers. Find this man a new coach. I did a couple phone calls. Paul Craig is one of them, because he need to work on his takedown defense. And second is Winkle Jackson. Wrinkle Greg Jackson. You need to go over there. Trevor Woodman or somebody. But this guy ain't gonna hit it. Dricus, you got to start thinking about the people around your circle, man. This guy's yapping his mouth more than Dricus at places after the fight and before the fight. And to be quite honest, we wouldn't know who the hell Morne Visser is. If he wasn't Dricus du Plessis' coach, we wouldn't know who this guy is. This lizard-looking guy is. Guys, big buffoon this guy was. We didn't train for the most dominating, dangerous position is the crucifix. You didn't train for it at all. But you have the audacity to say 2 months we can get back in the gym, train wrestling. I can't sleep until we get that belt back. We're going to train wrestling for 2 months. 2 months? You think you can learn how to defend Chimaev takedowns? You'll need 5 to 10 years to be able to get on the level Chimaev on with the wrestling. He got absolutely dominated, fight fans, as I expected. I told you that brute strength, trying to power out of those takedowns, wasn't going to work. That goofy style is not going to work on Chimaev, because that's what Chimaev wants you to do, so he can lock it on in on you. Night, night, Irene. Say uncle. Say uncle. That's what Chimaev wants. Blaming the... I never liked No Good God when he stopped the fight with Kobe Covington. I thought it was a bad stoppage. I never liked him then. Blaming No Good God when No Good God, in my opinion, did a terrible job at refereeing. They should have had Herb Dean in there. Standing them up 2 times when Chimaev obviously have a dominating position.
I think we could have done a lot better, but I also think the ref should have done better.
Dominated position, right in the back. Switching different positions on the ground every time Dricus move, he move. And I'll move, you move, just like that. Moving on the ground. Dricus didn't do enough, and that's what caused a boring fight to a lot of people. But this go his coach. We ready for the wrestling. We prepared. Wasn't prepared. Oh, you need to work on this and work on that. What was all this for? What was all this for? UFC 319. That's what I want to know. Chimaev did what he wanted to do with Dricus du Plessis and wet blanket him. Dricus' coach said we got to find some coaches so we won't get wet blanket again. No Good God gave Dricus du Plessis opportunities to stand up. Like my man Rich Ali said, he should have took advantage of those opportunities. If you know you behind, you got to know you're losing. You got to know you've been 10-8 in multiple rounds. Stand up. Throw the Hail Mary. Throw the kitchen sink at Chimaev. Don't just stand there and throw a little leg kick and then throw a high kick, which Dricus did good. He was throwing some good strikes on the feet, but it wasn't enough. You know what Chimaev did? Right back to the ground. No Good God standing up again, took his ass right back to the ground. Every single time. It's like, even my man Raph said, hey, did he even train a wrestling at all in training camp? It doesn't even seem like it. He did. It was just levels. He did suffer that crucifix position. Somebody called repo. Somebody called the MMA masters, somebody called Trump to take this man's coach license from him. Talking about Chimaev stand up, one-dimensional.
Think that you're gonna beat my guy coming with one thing, and that's wrestling. That guy's one-dimensional.
He's not one-dimensional. He got good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling. He's better at this one thing that his other fighters not as good as him at. What he's supposed to do? Use it. Chimaev wanted to box with Dricus place. He went to his corner and said, I'm in, man. Can I box? Brother, I wanted to box, show my boxing. He said, no, keep wrestling. Keep doing what you're doing. Because you dominated him. 10-8. You 10-8 him. Keep doing what you're doing to Dricus. He has no answer for the wrestling. Dricus wants you to box with him. So he can be goofy and come straight forward, throw the kitchen sink, just throw everything. No, that's not what's gonna happen. You say you can stick with me in the wrestling, your coach talking his BS. Let's see what you got, Drew, because he had absolutely nothing. I was surprised. I thought Chimaev was gonna get him out of there between the first and the second round. Submission. We go home. We go to church in the morning. Everybody happy. That's what I thought. I didn't know he was just gonna drag him out until the fifth round and just wet blanket and take him down. I mean, that was more impressive because now he proved to everybody he got the cardio. His wrestling's on another level. Do not underestimate his wrestling. Don't underestimate his wrestling. Talking about this guy submitted a whole Gracie team. Oh man, Dricus of places. He's buff. He's built. You know what I'm saying? You seen him? He's ripped, man. I don't know if he gonna better. Yes, he is. Chimaev training with bigger, better, way better wrestlers than Drew Duplessis. And they built way bigger. I knew that when the strength was gonna be a problem for Chimaev. He's a strong guy. Still with it. Nobody can't stop it. Learn some championship maturity, Morne Visser. Learn some championship maturity, man, when it comes to your fighters. I don't know if he's doing this for Colt or is he just doing this, because he's just really delusional. It got to be either or. And if you're doing it for Colt and it's not, you've been delusional. That's selfish. Trying to steal the spotlight from Dricus as a coach. Selfish to try to ride that wave. If that's what you're trying to do. But if you are serious about the things that came out of your mouth, Dricus need to find another coach.
Okay, and we actually laughed about it, me and him in the corner, because I said to him, okay, this is the very best he's got. That he just showed us what he can do. And he's going to keep on trying to do that. And I just didn't think that he will try to do that for 5 rounds. So we were communicating.
I know they got a close relationship. Visser been with Dricus his whole career. Since Dricus been fighting, they got a close relationship. And sometimes you got to break that, man, to get better. You got to break it. Dricus need to tell him to shut the hell up. Stop going to these interviews and running your mouth. Yap. Sound like a woman. Yeah, like him and Dricus Duplessis engaged and married or something. Like this is his hubby. The way he run his mouth. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. We trained wrestling defense, but not the crucifix. Mark Goddard should have engaged more. He should have did this more. He should have stand him up after 5-10 seconds of the fight. No, he shouldn't. Your fighter should have been trying to break out of it. Dricus Duplessis, your fighter should have been trying to escape. Throw elbows from the bottom. Something. Elbows when, elbows up, straight up from behind. As Chimaev got his back. He should have been doing that. Dricus didn't do enough. He didn't have it. He didn't have nothing for Chimaev. 50-54. It was something like that. It was a ridiculous scorecard. I got some work to do. Man. Absolutely crazy. Got Kamal Usman on the pound for pound on they part. I'm not a fan of Kamal Usman, but I love what he said on that podcast with him and Henry Cejudo on that pound for pound show. If you haven't watched it, go on YouTube, pound for pound show. Henry Cejudo, Usman got their own podcast. They had audio on there recently talking about the fight and his future in the UFC. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. And Kamal Usman basically said they didn't have no respect for Chimaev coming into this fight. They looked at Chimaev as one-dimensional. They did. They thought that Chimaev was gonna gas out in the third round and blow his load, and they can just take over and try to get a finish in the fourth and fifth. How could you prepare your fighter for that? Oh, he just go gas out in the third, and then we're gonna take over the other round. Oh, he'll gas out in the second, we'll take over the other round. You don't tell your fighter that. You should not bank on that at all. What type of coach is that?
Down now. Do you want to take him down? And he said to him, coach, he's too wet, too slip.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But that's what Kamal Usman said. And he was absolutely right. Absolutely right. They didn't have the respect coming to this fight for Chimaev. Then they can block the takedowns, keep it on the feet. That's what they thought. That's what his coach thought. And his coach feeding that energy into Dricus. That Dricus out there rolling around, getting full mounted, in bad positions. Chimaev landed like 500 some strikes on Dricus' places. It's ridiculous. Got him in the crucifix. Elbowing him, just punching him in the face. Boom, boom, boom. Pitty pat punches, playing with him on the ground. And then his coach got nothing for him. Nothing for him. Oh, gas his load. We laughed in the corner about it. Yeah, he go gas his load. We got him. Didn't have absolutely nothing for him. Versa. Absolutely nothing. Go to coaching school. Because you got out-coached. He took your fighter to school and outclassed them in a championship fight. Absolutely ridiculous. But I'm glad Dricus is that type of guy to give him his credit. You know, I'm so happy that, you know, Dricus is that type of guy. Fight fans, let me know what you think down below about this big buffoon. If you haven't seen the interview, I will put the interview, the link, radio talk show right there in the description so you can watch it, fight fans. And you can give me your take on it. Please give me your take on it. I want to know how y'all feel about it. Give me your opinion about this big fool clown.
Extra minute at the end there. But yeah, I think the fight was smothered by a lot of boringness. I don't think the crowd was happy. I remember when we walked in.
This is like the clown show. I said the Cool Quest show, but this what we talking about is like we talking about a clown right now. In Versa. Welcome to the clown show. This guy. Absolutely crazy. I wish Dricus Duplessis nothing but the best his next fight. He's not getting a immediate rematch. So I hope his coach is not that losing and think that he's getting an immediate rematch. If you get dominated for 4.5 rounds, you don't get an immediate rematch. No matter how many times you defend your belt. It don't work like that. And Chimaev is a star for the UFC, undefeated, big in Dubai, big over there in Russia. Not happening. Not happening. Not happening. We got Anthony Hernandez versus RDR in Vancouver in October. We got Bahayo versus Anasadine Imavov in September. We got a lot of contenders coming up in middleweight. And either one of them, depending on how their performance is, will get the next fight with Chimaev. I think Anthony Hernandez, if he beat RDR, he should be the next fighter to get it because he's been on an 8 or 9 fight winning streak. It's been very impressive. So I think he should get it, but he might give it to Bahayo if he beat. And that's the Imavov. He got a lot of hype. You know, the Nerds crew. So this can go any way. I love how the middleweight division looking right now. Never been so stacked. Love it. Love how these divisions stacked up with this new blood. I love it. That's why I love this sport. But I don't love it when we get a fool, we get a delusional man. Come on here and just make excuses after excuses. It's crazy as a coach. Crazy. Those true colors really came out about this guy. That little lizard. That buffoon little lizard. But fight fans, hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, in order for Dricus Duplessis to get on the Chimaev level with the wrestling, and able to get up to his feet and actually stick with Chimaev, it's going to take at least 6 years for him to be doing that. I mean, routine after routine after routine. He's 31 years of age. I think it might be a little too late for him to go down that route. I mean, he can get a little bit better, right? But to be on that level, this is a lifetime skill that this man Chimaev have, that Habib have, that Islam have. These guys have been doing this for almost all their lives. Okay? It's not something they learned overnight. It's not something they did for a year. It ain't something they did for 2 years. It ain't something they did for 3 years. It ain't something they did for 4 years. It ain't something they did for 5 years. They've been doing this since they was a jit. Like Mayweather been boxing since he was 5, 6, 7 years old. You know, like they've been doing this. You know? Fighters like Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Edson Barbosa, Michael Johnson, Justin Gaethje. These are all mainly strikers I'm naming right now, though. But what I'm saying is they trained for Habib for years. They've been training MMA wrestling. They train everything, mixed martial arts, jiu-jitsu, everything. Hell, Edson Barbosa and Dustin Poirier was a black belt when they fought Habib and still got absolutely dominated. You wouldn't even think it was a black belt, but they got dominated because it's levels. You have to been doing this type of stuff, guys. You know, and that's why I had Chimaev absolutely rat dogging and smashing him because of that one reason. Don't underestimate me, brother. Don't underestimate me. I smash. Fight fans, make sure you comment. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend. They really want to watch a good show. Tell them about the Cool Koi show. Let me know how you feel about this video and about Dricus coach. You wonder? I know.
And you know this, man.